Man thinks it's that. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good to see everyone again. All right, we would like to call this meeting to order at 7:02 p.m. My name is Marie Etienne. This time we'd like to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, we'll go ahead and do roll call of board members. Dr. Naomi Blemure,
Present.
Dr. Magda Demeret,
Present.
and Dr. Emmanuel La Fleurimont,
Present.
and my counterpart. Yeah. And Narissa Glickman.
Present.
Okay. And Marie Etienne, we all here? We do not have any minutes to approve at this time, so we have a special presentation this evening. I'd like to ask everyone for a moment of silence in honor of Roberta Jusme. Ms. Jusme was a 32-year-old respected publicist who tragically died Saturday early morning in a horrible car accident. So please, let's take a moment of silence. Thank you. Under new discussion, we have a discussion item regarding North Miami Commission for Women branding, purpose, and mission statement, and sponsored by our board member, Dr. Emanuela Fleurimont. Dr. Fleurimont, would you like to speak to that?
Thank you so much, Dr. Etienne. Yes, I'm a little bit shocked about that moment of silence. It could be any one of us.
Yeah.
It could be me. She was young, businesswoman, very go-getter, and now she left without saying goodbye to her 6-year-old son. That's not without a mother. Okay. So, yes, women always prepare things in advance. As women, that we are here to represent every single woman in North Miami. So I would love to bring on board to see if we can create a mission statement, a purpose why we are here, and the next generation, when we're not there again, so those missions can be in place, that we here for the women, cause to help them, to make them grow, to have our own logo, if you guys agree on it, have our own t-shirt, have our, to make that board like a solid board with all the structure that a board needs to function. That's what I asked, if we can come up with different ideas, different mission statements, different type of logo, to see if we can have, brand, make the woman, and not independent for the city, but an organization that has a structure.
Okay, I just thank you, Dr. Fleurimont, just for us to review the duties and responsibilities of this board. And if I don't know if you have the last agenda under page 3. Yeah, if you have the last one
No.
on page 3. We are been tasked as the Commission for Women, and we will meet every third Tuesday of every month in this chamber. And the duties and responsibilities are outlined under section 2.2-277. The powers and duties of the commission shall include, but not limited to, the following duties, functions, powers, and responsibilities: to serve as an advisory capacity by making studies, reports, and recommendation to the city council and the city manager in respect to all matters pertaining to the status of all women in the city, including but not limited to the fair and equal treatment of women, those policies and practices which discriminate against women, whether practiced by public or private persons, including all corporations and the public and private employment of women, the working and living conditions of women, the delivery of public and private services to women, the education and training of women, and the public accommodation for women. So I don't want to read the entire roles and responsibilities, but I just wanted to, I'm glad you brought the idea for us to come up with a mission statement. So if we're going to craft a mission statement, perhaps we need to review what we've been tasked with. And for example, we have to make continuing studies with recommendations and cities and facility boards, etc. And so this appointment is very dear to all of us, and we want to make sure that we serve on the ordinance that was established in 1464 in January 26, 2021. And so again, our role is to serve in the advisory capacity. So to the council and the city manager in respect to all matters pertaining to the status of all women in the city. And so I'm looking forward to hearing more. I like the idea of us branding because we want to have our own. So I want to hear from the other board members. My vice chair, Dr. Naomi Blamiro, will start with you. What are your thoughts in regards to this item?
Well, branding sets an identity for every organization, for every business, and I think that since we are in the business of serving the women in the city of North Miami, we should definitely come up with a logo that represents that. And going forward, all activities and things that we bring forth to serve these women, they should be able to identify that logo.
Okay. All right. Dr. Mrs. Glickman?
I would like to invite the city women to get together to make a little tea party to hear what is their concern, so that we
Use
can
the
work
microphone?
on.
You turn
Yes.
it on?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay, speak a little bit louder.
Oh,
She can't hear you.
I would like to organize together with some women together to have a little tea party and to listen to their concern, so that we can see what is the necessary area that we need to work on. So I like to hear their voice too. Thank you.
Absolutely. I think we're trying to get your feedback on the branding idea. Like, do you like the idea of having a logo for this commission, and then how do we move forward, right? So,
Of course, the logo is very important, so that wherever we go, we should always like to have our branding,
okay,
our image,
great.
maybe our bag, other than the shirt, so that they can see this is the woman group that we are the voice for the woman here.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, we're gonna start with Dr. Demerit.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. So I also agree. Branding is very important. I love the idea of the logo. It seems based on our establishment of this board that we have a purpose. And so developing the mission statement should hopefully be a fairly simple task for us to do. But I do look forward to creating an identity for this group and then carrying that out and really serving the women of the city.
All right,
Yeah.
I like the idea. So I don't know, I support your recommendations, Dr. Fleurmont. So if we would, at this time, I would like for us to entertain some suggestion for a mission statement. I'm not sure if you already came up with some ideas, if you've drafted anything.
I don't, because I want us to do it together.
Okay.
I suggest that we get together to come with different ideas and what we want, so we will do it together.
Okay.
Like Ms. Nori said, have different, type of women and listen to their concern. Maybe from there we can adjust it to our mission, because we're dealing with the people. We know what they want. So our mission is to get them where they want to be. So I think I don't want to do it by myself. It's a group, especially you have a lot of experience in that. I would really love you to lead us in that, to have a mission statement for this group.
Okay.
I think we are the first. It's the first group, right? The first women board.
Right.
Oh, we definitely need to have something.
Absolutely. Dr. Lemire?
So in
Your
the
thought
interest
on
of
the mission?
time,
Your thought on the mission?
yeah, in the interest of time, I think that we should, each one of us, submit something to to Rosa, and then Rosa can share it with the councilwoman, and then we can then integrate everybody's suggestions. So by the next meeting, we actually have something in front of us and not necessarily going over the same information. So within the next week, everyone, as it relates to the mission, we submit what we possibly believe should be the mission, and the vision, and then I guess I don't know, Rosa.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. So my question to you is, as part of staff, would you then communicate all of your concerns or questions with the chairwoman, and then connect with the councilwoman, or how would that work? Just so we want to ensure that when we come back next month, something has already been drafted and everybody's in agreement.
Yes, so if everybody can send me their ideas as of what they would like to see on the mission statement, I can draft it, put it together.
Can you use a microphone, please, Ms. Enriquez? You can come sit up here.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, I would like to receive your ideas as of what should be on the mission statement. I can put a draft together, share it with the chair, and then when we have something finalized, we can share with Councilwoman Estima Irvin and have it approved before the 21st, which will be the day of the swearing in.
That's
so
a good idea.
ideally, we will have that done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so just to make sure for the record, each of us will submit some suggestions, email it to Rosa, and Rosa will, I would like to be copied on that, on each of your suggestions, so that way I can already have an idea what you're thinking, and then we can put a draft together, Rosa, and then bring it back to the commission, so we can finalize.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, you're not supposed to copy each other. Maybe individually you will send it to me and I'll put it together and I'll share with you
Okay, okay, that's
without
fine.
you knowing
Oh,
who
that's true.
submitted
I was
what.
just about to say,
Yeah.
yes.
I
Okay.
think
So
it
it
has
could
to be
only
that
go
way. To me.
her,
To you.
staff, and the councilwoman, and then once the councilwoman and staff draft something that they're in agreement with, and then they can present it to us all together.
Right.
It cannot be presented individually.
So we'll create a draft and then run it by the chair, and then we will have a final draft for the next meeting.
Yeah, I would think, I would think I would need to review it as the chair before it goes
Right.
to,
But
To the
you
council.
wouldn't know who sent what.
no, I wouldn't know.
Yeah,
Yes, okay.
That's- yeah.
I like that idea.
Okay.
I have a question, Rosa. As it relates to other boards, do they create their own mission statement?
Honestly,
Anybody
I
can
have
answer that
no
question?
idea.
No?
I am very new to this, so I will have to find out.
Okay.
Okay.
I
I
would like,
believe that the mission statements are created by staff.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
not by us?
I don't, because this is a new board, there's no precedence, but I do believe that staff plays a huge role because of the sunshine laws and us not being able to communicate with one another, and one person cannot have information without the other one having information. I do believe that staff does play a bigger role in putting the mission and the vision statement together. I wish our attorney was here and he could have better advised us, on what that process looks like.
Mhm.
So-
I can ask.
Rosa, if you can seek counsel with the city attorney on what that process looked like, and maybe you can share that process with us, and then the chairwoman can move forward based on what he advises, just so that we know that in our desire to do, to get everything together, we're
Yes.
not
Absolutely.
overstepping sunshine
Sunshine
laws.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Vice Chairwoman. Absolutely. Yes, go ahead.
So in another word, that we are going to make our own suggestion without hearing all the women voice, and we are not going to have a tea party to get together
no.
first.
Oh, no, this
If
is,
I may,
go ahead.
if I may, Mrs. Glickman, your suggestion, have a tea party is absolutely well received. And I think that is something that we do want to do. I guess my question to you is, would you prefer that we have a tea party first before we do our mission statement?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with her too, because, and the purpose, I didn't read that page because I'm new to this. I will read it. I will read it after.
Yeah.
Well, but if you're working for someone, you don't know what your boss wants, you cannot be a good employee because you don't know what your boss wants. We are working for those women. If I would love to, ask the attorney, the attorney, how do you call it?
Kazo?
Kazo, yeah,
City
Mr.
Attorney
Kazo,
Kazo.
about it, how we can do that. Because we want to do, we don't know too much, but we want to do it at the right way. Because to serve someone, you really have to know the needs. If you don't know my needs, you cannot serve me. So, and if you say yes, we can do that, it will be nice. We have the tea party, we talk to different women and listen to their ideas. So we know we cannot share nothing between us, among us here. But after that, we go home and we drop whatever that we have in mind. We put it on paper, since it's not what we want that's gonna go. Everything going to Miss Rosa. So Miss Rosa will decide, or whomever decide. I think Dr. Etienne will be good to be part of it, so to take the better decision which mission statement that we're gonna use. So that's my point of view.
So I'm looking forward to hear from Maître Kazo, the city attorney, just to, like Vice Chair Dr. Bloomer suggested, for us to understand what the process is on how we craft our mission statement, And so that will be the first step. The second step is to discuss, staff can discuss with the city council, how do we proceed in terms of creating or having an invitation for the city, for the women of the city to have a tea party. And then, of course, we have to decide the best time to do that, Mrs. Glickman, when to do it. We have to have a timeline. And so those are the kind of things that we have to put on our to-do list. Okay, any question?
I think Saturday is good time, afternoon.
Saturday afternoon? Do you have a date in mind?
For everyone, like end of this month. So we have few weeks to work on.
End of this month?
Yeah,
Okay, that would be,
the 20-something.
let's look at our
The
calendars.
28 or 29, 28.
Gonna be away?
28 is Memorial Weekend.
Yes,
No time
so,
for tea.
so, yeah, I'm already committed for the whole,
So June 4 then?
I'm already committed for, June 4th. I have a gun violence summit already booked from 8 to
You're booked for
1.
the whole year, all Saturday.
Yeah, actually.
So,
What,
so you find the
No.
time then?
you wanna do it in the afternoon?
Yeah, afternoon.
Like what, around 3 o'clock perhaps?
Yeah, it's 3 o'clock tea party. It's like finished before 5.
Okay, so June 4th, 3 p.m. is the suggested date. Do you have a backup date?
No.
Okay.
It's
Is that
okay
okay
for
with
you?
you,
Yes.
with everyone? So everyone, let's put on our calendar, June 4th.
Where?
And is that realistic?
So Rosa,
3 to 5?
I just have a quick question. Every, should there be a vote on everything that is proposed?
Yes, so
Yes.
I,
I
I'm
make a
looking at a-
motion.
Wait,
At,
let her answer the.
at minutes from another, because I had no idea how to do this, and there's, a motion has to be
Made.
made
Yes.
and seconded by another member.
Yes.
And then I'm gonna take notes as to
Okay.
what that is.
I make a motion to have a tea party on June 4 at 3 o'clock.
So according to the agenda, the motion has to be, I believe, on
Related.
the item that is being discussed, which is the branding of the
For
committee.
branding and also actually to
Create the
Uh,
mission statement.
to listen to the woman voice.
Mhm.
What would you to have a better path for us to follow up?
Okay.
So I would like to have the motion pass.
So,
You're making the motion, and then someone will second it?
Yeah, so I need to have somebody.
I believe what she's explaining is that if the item was not on the agenda, you can't vote on it. It has to be on the agenda. Now, if something is already on the agenda and you want to add, you want to attach something to it,
Okay.
then they will have to go back and that they would have to represent it on the agenda. So right now, the only things that we can vote on is
The
the discussion for the branding. We have to vote. And so the person who brought it forth would make a motion, then we vote. And then we will go to the Startup Business Workshop, then we vote on that. Then we go to C, and then D, and those are the 4 things that we can vote on today.
Okay.
Now, you are bringing something new, which
That will be the
everybody's in
new
agreement.
business. Yes.
New business would
We'll
be
do
for
it in the
next
end.
month.
Yeah.
So my question to you, Rosa, if next meeting, we are actually having the swearing in, would it make sense that we actually have something to communicate to the woman who would be coming to the swearing in as to why we are established and what we seek to do? Because it's not telling them what we are going to do as far as programming. Programming would involve their input, but telling them why we are here,
Mission.
it stops with us because we are the board.
Right.
That's what my understanding is. So if that's not true, you can correct me.
I I agree with you. I think, so that would be the mission. The mission statement has to be drafted before the 21st, I think.
So what I would like to do at this time is ask Dr. Fleurmont to entertain a motion about the branding. You made a suggestion that we create a logo and so on for, so that's the first motion, and then followed by the mission statement that you would like for us to draft. You're gonna make a motion? Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make a motion, and the Women Board of North Miami created their own branding, have our mission statement, so when we go somewhere, we can really present ourselves as the Board of the Women of the beautiful city of North Miami.
Any second?
Yes, I second it.
It has been second. Any discussion? Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 All right, so let me
Aye.
just call the vote. Dr. Fleurmont? Your vote?
Yes.
Ms. Narissa Glickman?
Yes.
Dr. Naomi Blemure?
Yes.
Dr. Maria Etienne, yes. And Dr. Demerit?
Yes.
And Ms. Fleurmont already said yes. Okay,
Yes,
it's, it has been passed by.
All in
unanimous
favor.
vote. All in favor. Okay,
Thank you.
motion pass. Next item is the discussion item regarding a startup business workshop for women in North Miami. Once again, this idea is sponsored by board member Dr. Emanuela Fleurmont.
Yes. One of the reasons why I come with this idea is because as a young professional and businesswoman and woman, it's hard for me to be able to do it. Even I have capacity, intellectual capacity, but not because you've been to university, you have a PhD, or you can be a business owner. No, you can have the idea, but be the business owner, you need guidance. You need people to teach you how to do things. And I know there's a lot of business in the city or women at home that want to do something, but they never have the opportunity to do it. They never have someone to guide them or to teach them how to do it. So if we create a platform where we can help the women, especially the one that has already had business, but their business is not registered. They don't know how to, the proper way to do a business. So if we can teach them how to do business, the women dreamers, help them how even you sell food at home, but that's food you sell at home, it's good. You can make it as it's a business. So that's the reason why that I bring it, so we can have more women entrepreneurs in the beautiful city.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Fleurmont. Any comments regarding to this item?
I just would like to know if it would require a budget in order for us to host this, and if it does, do we have the budget? And if we don't, how can we come up with the money to host this?
I'm glad you bring that up. You bring that up because I have under miscellaneous for us to talk about budget, and so we'll come back to that. But any thoughts on that, Ms. Goodman?
Well, I was thinking to have somebody that we have to invite to be the speaker, which is probably some very successful businessman, type, the business owner around here, whoever is successful, maybe we can ask them to be the speaker, so we do not have to
Or a
pay them.
businesswoman?
We do
Or
not have to
just-
pay them
or a
any
businesswoman.
fee.
Yeah, like for example, we have the Chamber of Commerce,
Yeah.
the Haitian Chamber of Commerce. They have a class. I'm one of the students. They have great, like let's say speaker or teacher there, they may be willing to help because they have an incubator, they call it like that.
Yes.
So they teach young, like everybody, not only women, they teach you how to do business. I think if we partner up with the chambers, there we have the North Miami Chamber, the Haitian chambers. If we don't have a budget yet, but those people, yes, they do.
Mhm.
We can reach out to them and let those women know that, okay, those chambers are there to help out. Like I think Dr. Blamir, she has education and accounting maybe. So if she has that, can help a woman, you know, we use the resource that we have until we, you know,
Mhm.
we go to the expenses, because there's a lot of professional out there that's willing to help out.
Okay.
And I think there's a lot of Haitian women in this city that needs the help.
Okay, let me hear from Dr. Demerit regarding this item.
I think it's a good item. I believe that, like Dr. Florimon mentioned, that we do have a lot of resources already that is present that can be accessed, and so leveraging those resources will be critical to getting this particular item executed. So,
Mhm.
Yep.
So, to summarize, what I'm hearing is that a budget at this time would not necessarily be needed for this particular workshop. It didn't say workshops. We could have a series of those type of workshop for women. However, since you only mentioned a startup workshop, which is one workshop for women in the city of North Miami, we can certainly seek for sponsorship from those organizations that you referred to. North Miami Chamber you mentioned, and also the Haitian American Chamber of Commerce of Florida, and other entities who may want to support this endeavor. Did that make you feel comfortable, Madam
No.
Vice Chair?
No. I am not opposed to it. I'm just saying what will be the budget, meaning how much do we think it's going to cost?
Mhm.
And let's say, for example, we say it's going to cost us $3,000 for the workshop in order to print out materials and have a light breakfast, have a light lunch, whatever we're going to have. If it's going to cost $5,000, do we have the budget? If we don't have the budget, who can we
Tap into.
tap into in order to raise the 5,000? All I'm just saying is, before we agree to have it, can we have an idea of what it will cost? In other words, and I believe our member here stated that the sponsor did mention that it doesn't cost anything. The reality of it is everything costs something.
Yep.
It may not be monetary, right? We might be bartering and exchanging talents
Right.
and services.
Mm-hmm.
However, we are going to incur somewhat of a soft cost, because if you have people in a room for about 2 to 3 hours, you want to give them something light, even if it's cookies and soda.
Right. So,
The-
So it's not necessarily coming out of our pocket per se. It's just what it's going to cost to actually do the event. However we get the money, we get the money. But what is it going to cost us?
All right, so, hearing those comments, just the same like the tea party, if you're gonna have a tea party, you have to have a budget as well, because you have to spend.
Yeah.
And so,
For the
these-
tea.
yeah.
Tea is very inexpensive. I can offer you that.
we can go in the backyard. My mom has a bush.
But
Very simple. I have a pot. We can boil it.
yes, let me add that. Like for example, me, I go to the Haitian Chamber the
Commerce?
training.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have nothing for me there, but I'm learning.
Okay.
Every woman that know that they're gonna go somewhere to learn something, to make them powerful, to make them independent. They are not worried about food. They are worried about go sit down and listen to someone. Now if we don't have money, it's not something we're gonna do tomorrow. It's something that we have in an agenda to work on, to make sure that we increase the level of business entrepreneur in this community. So if
Yeah.
they cannot, we cannot put them here, we can refer them to the chambers because the chambers are there for that. And I think the Commissioner Ardeman has the same program down there. They help, but not only women. They help start up how to start their business. We can refer them to Nana, right? To if they want to do, they apply for their son biz, make them apply. So they have someone to ask. Like, for example, Dr. Demerit is in mental health. A woman can have a problem and she want to talk to someone. She's going to call Dr. Demerit and she's going to say, I need help. She's not going to charge a woman that call her to ask for help.
Yeah.
It has to be a price, but if she was a patient, she called for help. So she can be referred to a to an agency that doesn't take insurance, that the patient can be served. So we have too many businesses in this city that's the women are working and their business are not organized. you
Okay,
know?
so just so we can move forward
Yeah.
with some of the recommendations that I'm hearing is that you would like for us to entertain a motion on this item and then come up with a possible budget in the near future and a date as to when you would like to do this, because you don't have a date in mind yet, right?
No, I don't have a date.
So we can, so the idea can be, make a motion for the idea and then we can work on it later. So I'd like to hear a motion
Okay,
for that item.
a motion on item B to create a business workshop for startup women in North Miami.
Okay, can I get a second on that? Is there a
I
second?
second.
Okay, it has been motioned by Dr. Flermont and second by Ms. Narissa Glickman. Any further discussion on this item? Okay, hearing none. We'll go ahead and call for a vote. Dr. Magda Demerit?
Yes.
Narissa Glickman?
Yes.
Dr. Naomi Blamure?
No, I'm waiting for the budget.
Okay. Dr. Marie Etienne, I vote yes. And Emanuela Fremont?
Yes.
Okay. So the motion is passed. So what we'll do is get a budget for this item and we will proceed accordingly once we have a date. Okay? So we'll add that as one of the items that we need to budget for. Okay? Item number C is discussion regarding mental health issues affecting women in North Miami. This item has been sponsored by board member Dr. Emanuela Flemont. Dr. Flemont?
Yes. That also it's ideas of women because I deal with them every day. Right now, there is a crisis in food and in jobs. There's a lot of women that cannot afford
Food insecurity?
food insecurity and job placement for those women. And if I tell you every day how many women that we receive at the food bank, how many phone calls, it's big. For me, I think that it would be nice to partner up. Like today, I bring two of my boss, one of a doctor in psychology, and then one of the licensed social worker, Dr. Magda is here too, so I can help out. So if the woman has a problem, they are struggle, they can reach out to us, and we gonna figure it out where to refer them. Even we don't have money, there is resources out there in mental health that we can refer those patients. The women out. So if we cannot provide a service, but not if we can, yes, definitely not, but we will refer those women out for help because too much things is happening right now.
Dr. Flemont, I commend you for bringing this item forth for discussion for the Commission for Women Board to discuss, not only because it's Mental Health Awareness Month in May, but because mental health is real And there are many issues, violence that women are being faced with in our community. And so I think this is a timely discussion, so I thank you for bringing that up. At this time, I'd like to entertain discussion from the board regarding the item number C. Dr. Bloomer?
So I just want to clarify that we want to put something together to talk about this, exactly what it, I guess I'm missing exactly what is the plan of action? What are we going to do?
Okay, the plan of action is like we gonna talk to
The
Mr.
women?
Yeah, to the lawyer to tell us how to really structure that program. This
Also-
is a
okay, so
program for the
initiative
women,
for mental
yes,
health. Got it.
to mental health, yeah, to help
Okay,
the women.
okay.
If they have or doesn't have insurance, we already have we have 4 people already on board to help out. And we have a Santla that I referred patient to. They accept people without insurance for mental health. But I think that it will be important that not let them alone.
Thank you. Mrs. Glickman?
To us, from the Rotary Club, we have a program that one of our club, Miami Airport Rotary Club, they did mental health wellness program, and they have a few doctor on the board. So they have some assistant. Maybe we can work with them because they are expertise, so they can help out how to lead the woman
Yeah.
a better future. Also, because we cannot just help them for temporary. To us, I think it's very helpful to give them a vision rod, really educate them so they can really stand on their own in the future.
Yes.
Right. Thank you.
So one of the things, oh, I'm sorry, before I make any comment, let me go to Dr. Demerit, our expert in the area of
Yeah,
mental
so
health.
I just want to clarify as well. So there's 2 parts I'm hearing. The first part is mental health, right? Maybe supportive counseling, but I'm also hearing a case management component, which is helping them to get connected to community resources or whatever it is that they need to support their current situation. Based on this discussion item, are you wanting to do something that addresses like everything in that way, or were you specifically just looking at like mental health, like the mental health piece?
You know, in mental health, like mental health always come with something. Something has to, a trauma in life bring the behavior change. So to help the patient change their behavior, you need to go to the source to solve sometimes the problem. So if the problem, when we sit down, we assess the patient. If the problem is something, let's say the patient cannot feed their kids. Okay, no problem. We refer that patient to, let's say, to a food bank. We said, okay, go there to a food bank, and after that, I'm taking Santla example as an example. Let's refer you to the Santla because they have a workshop program. They teach you, they prepare you to go to work. So we refer that person out because the trigger, what makes that patient depressed, like for example, is because of food insecurity or job placement.
Yeah, so
You know?
so the reason I'm asking is because, again, it's a different level.
Level.
So if you have someone that comes to you, so I'm trying to think about how this might be structured, how this might look. If someone comes and says, oh, I have an issue, then what we do about that issue can be many different things. Not everybody who has an issue needs therapy. Sometimes they just need a bag of groceries,
Yes.
right? So it just depends on what it is. So that's what I'm trying to get at for this, because this says mental health issues.
Okay.
So I'm trying to find out, are we wanting to say,
What about a
community
mental health
resource-
screening day? Where the people come in, you screen them, and as she stated, based on the screening, you refer them to somebody.
Right, that could be, absolutely, that could be a part of it. I just wanna know, when you were thinking about this, were you thinking just about the mental health therapy piece, or were you thinking about everything that comes along with the woman who comes before you and what it is that she needs?
Okay, like when I was thinking about that, I was thinking about the therapy, like, part, because, our culture, we don't believe in that. But in the meantime, if the patient, because before we send the patient, we said, okay, you need therapy, the patient needs to be screened to really know what is the problem. Because we do that at the clinic. We know the problem. Okay, if you have a problem, a behavioral problem, now the city refer you to one of the partner, or we bring Dr. Magda on board. Dr. Magda, we have a patient, so
what
she
we're
will
looking
help.
at is a combination of what Dr. Blamir just said and what you said, which is being a
Liaison.
team that creates a situation where we can provide a screening service or some
Mhm.
kind of support service that funnels them out to resources already established in the city.
Okay.
Yeah,
We
okay.
can-
So I guess we can bring the motion.
I'm just gonna remind everybody of Robert's Rule of Order, just so we can, because I'm noticing the time is 7:48 and we haven't discussed a few items that I would like to bring forth. Just to comment, because I haven't had a chance to comment yet. So just to comment on the item, I think before we start putting program into place for the city, I think we need to have a deeper conversation with, like you said, the women of the city, to see what is the priority. I know what we want to do, but we also need to identify, and it has to be based on data, the evidence. And so I had an opportunity to receive this Miami-Dade County Status of Women 2021 report from the office of Councilwoman Estimé Irvin, and I immediately asked Rosa to send it to all of you, because whatever decision we make for the city, we have to have data. And so when we looked at, just to glance at page 31, and it talks about safety, and you see some of the issues, the ongoing issues like domestic violence offenses, forcible sex offenses, sex trafficking and slavery, human trafficking, and of course mental health plays a major role, mental wellness for women. And again, and this is timely that you brought this forth, Dr. Flermont, because this is real. And so before we make a motion, I would like for us to look at the data. Again, this data pertains to Miami-Dade County in general. It didn't break it down to our city. Some of the components have how North Miami has been impacted in other cities, and so take this home, read it some more, because I'm not sure if you had an opportunity to look at it, but I just wanted to support what you're saying, what your request is based on facts, based on evidence, and that it is important for us to discuss that. So I'd like to entertain a motion on item C, please.
I just wanted to know exactly what is the motion. It's a motion to have a screening?
No, she's gonna make the motion, right?
No, right. So it's a motion to have a screening? Is that what
Are
we're,
you making a motion? Are you making a motion?
Magda?
Oh, okay. Well, let me ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
Can we make a modification,
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Florimont? Can we
Amen.
amend item C and say that this is an initiative for health and wellness? So that way, it covers everything that we're probably gonna be reading in that report. And then later on, we can go deeper into exactly what those things look like, and it can be an ongoing part of what we do
Right.
and how we address the needs of the women.
Right.
So
So Dr. Demerit, can you please make that friendly
you got
amendment
it. You got it.
to that item?
Okay, so I would like to motion for an amendment to item C, to change the topic of the item from discussion item regarding mental health issues affecting women in North Miami to discussion item regarding an initiative for health and wellness for women in North Miami. The second?
Definitely, yes, I second.
Okay. It's been second. Any discussion regarding that friendly amendment?
No discussion, just a question.
Mhm.
Would, the first initiative would be a screening, correct?
No, we haven't discussed that part. That was just an amendment to that.
So the
that was a
friendly amendment is that it's gonna be
an initiative
an initiative
For health and
for
for
wellness
health
and
and wellness
for
Mhm.
women in North
for
Miami.
women
for women in North
in North
Miami, period.
Mhm.
Got it.
Okay, and so, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right,
Aye.
I'll take a vote. Dr. Demerit,
Yes.
Mrs. Glickman,
Yes.
Dr. Lemur?
Yes.
Yes, for Maria Etienne. Emanuela Flamont? Dr.
yes.
Flamont? Okay. It's passed that we've made the friendly amendment, and now we can go into the part that you suggested about the screening,
So in order to
implement.
implement this initiative, I think that it should begin with a screening where we invite the women to the city for a screening, and we partner up with different health professionals throughout the city to be present within a certain period of time to do the screening. And I ask that we have a date by the next meeting.
What I would like to see is to have a short proposal, identify the need based on evidence, and also put a timeline as to what are some of the steps you wish to accomplish, what are some of the suggestions for the initiative before we just single out one item, is to come up with just like a one-page proposal, the need, the background, and also just so when we present it to the council, that they will have some facts, and you can certainly use any literature or resources based on, to support that. Is that something that we might want to do?
Sure, I don't have any issues doing that. I would send that to Rosa then. That's something
Yes.
I would complete and send to Rosa.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so that would be our next thing, okay? So we will not entertain the motion yet, Dr. Bloomer, about actually doing a screening until we have a nice.
A proposal.
A proposal,
Okay.
with supporting evidence.
So you're gonna put a motion for the proposal?
Yes. The chair can make a motion, yes. I'll make a motion that any one of us here would like to submit a proposal regarding the item C, the initiative for health and wellness for women in the city of North Miami. Before we outlining the intricacies of what we would like to do for the city. And again, these are recommendations. And so I would like to get a second.
Second?
Okay, it has been second. Any further discussion? Okay, all right, so we'll take a vote. Dr. Demerit?
Yes.
Mrs. Glickman?
Yes.
Dr. Bloomer?
Yes.
Maria Etienne, yes, and Dr. Flamont?
Yes.
Okay, it passes, so the motion has been passed, so we can move on to item D.
And I just want to confirm Dr. Demerit is gonna put that proposal
Yes.
together, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Dr. Demerit, thank you for volunteering for putting forth that proposal.
Yeah, I will help her out.
Thank
I
you.
have a lot of sample of that.
Great, great.
I will help.
Quickly, we want to discuss item D, The item D regarding victim advocate assistance to assist victim of crime. This item is sponsored by the chair, Dr. Maria Etienne, myself. And the reason I brought this forth is because I had an opportunity to attend the Miami-Dade County Commission meeting last month, thanks to Councilwoman Estime Irvin, who suggested that I go for observation. And little did I know I was going to learn so much. And I suggest that any of you can attend one of their meetings, since it's a public, it's for the public. And so there were detectives and police officers presenting on the issue. And I think we also have the same issue here in the city of North Miami, and that we need to have a presentation, hopefully, maybe not the next meeting, but maybe in the future, to have the chief of police or the Miami-Dade County Police Department and the victim advocates departments to share some data with us and some of the strategies that they're using to help survivors of crime. And so, having a nonprofit with that addresses the issue, I think we need to continue to raise awareness as it relates to crime, particularly gun violence, domestic violence, and human trafficking. Any discussion on this item? Okay, hearing none, I'd like to make a motion that we invite the key stakeholders that will be addressing victims advocate assistance to assist victim of crime at a future meeting. Any second?
Second.
Okay, it's been seconded by Dr. Flamont. Any discussion? Okay, all right, we'll get a vote. Dr. Demerit?
Yes.
Mrs. Glickman?
Yes.
Dr. Bloomer? Maria Etienne, yes, and Dr. Flamont?
Yes.
Okay, it all passes, thank you. At this time, we would like to open the floor for any public hearing. Do we have anyone who would like to say anything? Okay, hearing none, there are no public hearing at this time. So at this time, we open the floor for question and answers.
I have no questions or answers. I just have a suggestion for staff. The first meeting that we had, the Attorney Cazzo spoke about training and preparing, giving a general training for everyone so that we understand, the roles and how we would proceed going forward. And in addition, so I would like to have a date on when he can do the trainings. Also, I would like to have a request to the councilwoman and to Attorney Cazzo, since this is a newly formed board and there is no precedence. I think that for the next 4 meetings, I think that it would be great to have the attorney or the assistant attorney here, so that when we do have questions, we actually have somebody here who can answer the questions. I think that we would do ourselves a disservice if we continue with having things lap onto a whole nother month, as opposed to having things that we can actually have someone who can give us real answers immediately. So if Rosa can speak to them about that, I think at least 4 to 5 meetings, inclusive of the trainings, would better prepare us, so that we would then only request the attorney or the assistant attorney when need be.
Yes, and did you want to say something? Because I think we've already, earlier on, we asked Rosa if she would mind follow up with the attorney, just because he did ask us to contact his office for individual training, and I recommended that we do one Zoom or together, and that way we can just ask questions, and so we're waiting on some dates from him. Okay, very good. Quick announcement.
Well, hold on 1 second.
Oh, sorry.
The tea event. So I think that to what she mentioned, since we are going to be moving forward, we should try to put something together that is no cost, maybe inviting all of the ladies to come into the chamber to meet the new board members. Maybe that can be placed on the next agenda. It's just a suggestion, so that.
I'm not sure if the chamber is appropriate for this, because I saw a sign that says no food, no drinking.
No, this would be just for them to come and actually.
For the tea party?
No.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Because you
no.
mentioned tea.
I said that since she came up with the idea of the tea party,
Mhm.
until we can get that on the agenda, is it possible that we can invite this woman in the city to start attending the meetings, which costs us nothing, and they can come, they can ask questions, and then we can answer those questions. That just takes out sending out an invitation to them and letting them know that the next meeting is scheduled for such and such date. Come meet the new commission and ask your questions. At least we can begin to engage them that way, and that costs us nothing.
Yeah, in another word, we will invite a woman and we do not need to have any tea.
No. In addition, no. I'm not taking away the tea. I'm
No.
just saying, let's do something
It's okay.
that requires immediately, while we get the tea on the agenda, to vote on it, find a date and money and all of that. In the meantime, we can start engaging the ladies.
Okay.
So the date that we choose, the June 4th or June 3rd, is
June
not
4th.
for the
3 to
tea
5.
party. Is not that we're not gonna do it at that date anymore?
No, so let
Or
me
we have to
maybe,
wait?
okay, so I think what I hear Dr. Blumir saying is that we're having these meetings regardless. It's already on the schedule, it's already planned. So just putting out an effort to just invite the women of the city to just come out while we meet, to meet us, so we can meet them, so that they can just share with us and we can share with them, which is something we can do now that doesn't require any funding, while we continue to plan for the other things, like the tea, like all the initiatives that we want to do.
Thank you,
Tea will
Dr.
be-
Demaret.
The tea
Rosa?
will be before our next meeting.
So we're not even talking about, you're saying,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
saying.
But we
So
cannot
if
do
we
the
were to have-
tea. We cannot do the tea until it's voted on. It has to come on the agenda. The only time it can go on the agenda, yes.
Ah.
The only time it
That's
can
why
go on
Ms.
the.
Musa, Ms. Enriquez, if I'm not
She
mistaken.
wanted to say something.
Yes, I do want to say something. So, regarding meeting the committee, there's going to be an opportunity to do that on the 21st, which is the day of the swearing-in. We are sending invitations to the neighboring cities, inviting our, elected officials from other cities as well as residents. So that will be a great opportunity for the community to meet the committee.
And this will be on June 21st.
Correct.
And we will be having it in here or another.
We are trying to find the location at the moment. It's not confirmed, but I
Okay.
will notify you of what that is and share with you the invitation.
Thank you.
So as far as the tea on the 4th, that will be before that meeting.
Mhm.
So as Dr. Blumir said, it has to be voted, it has to be on the agenda. So perhaps that will be something that we do later on, not necessarily in June, but in September, because July and August, we are not having a meeting.
Right. So I think the requests, we did vote on the requests to have the idea of having the tea, yes? And so now we have to ask a request to put it on the agenda for the councils, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So I think a great opportunity to have that tea party would be prior to the meeting. So for example, we have a lobby outside. We can't bring food and beverages in here, but maybe before 7 o'clock, let's say date everybody at 6:30 to come and join you for tea in the lobby, and then coming into the chambers to join the meeting if they wish. That
So-
would be a great thing to do. I mean, I think an opportunity, we take advantage of that space for small receptions and things like that.
Is that what you like to do?
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we have to retract, well, we don't have to retract, we just need to make sure that it's okay for us to do that, right?
Right, so you can make the
Let's go ahead and make a
suggestion, and
motion.
then I think,
Go ahead and make the motion,
Will
Yes.
that be a Chinese tea or American tea?
whatever you'd like it to be.
Well, Chinese tea is good, it's lose weight, so it's healthy too. So we can have Chinese tea,
Okay,
right? And I make a motion. May I?
the chair,
May I?
Yes, of
Yes.
course.
I make a motion to have a little Chinese tea party. To have it in the lobby before our meeting on the June
21st.
21st.
oh.
mm,
okay.
Pardon?
Is that what you were saying? Or is that in September?
Yeah, I was saying
She said
September.
September.
Because in June the 21st,
Is our sworn in?
right, and we are having,
Okay.
September, that's what you meant.
That
to
will be
say.
September 19.
if that is the date that
Yeah. September 20th, the third
the third
Tuesday of the
Mhm.
month. Would that be the third or that is called the fourth?
one, it's September the 20th.
That's right.
It's the
Thank
third,
you.
I believe, yes.
Just to confirm, okay, so that's the day that we will have a little tea party in the lobby, probably 6:30 before we start.
Right, and providing that we do have the budget for that, the funds to do it, because it's just
I
not
can
gonna
bring
be-
all the tea if you like,
Is
it's
it
okay.
just tea and?
Tea, and we can bring some Chinese dim sum like that. I can bring that. If we don't have the budget, I'm happy to do that.
Okay.
Mhm. If anybody want to contribute anything else, just let us know.
Yeah, so we don't have to
Okay.
take another year to make that decision.
Okay, so we heard a motion to entertain a tea party half an hour prior to our meeting on September the 20th. If I'm out of town, our vice chair will conduct the meeting. I'm just saying.
You will miss the tea.
No, I didn't say that. I know I have a
I
conference.
just have a request. Can we do it at 6?
Of course.
Because if that's the
Yeah.
first time that we're entertaining them, we just don't want to do it so quickly.
Mhm.
We want to give them a time to come in.
1
Yeah.
hour of
One-
tea? I have to bring a lot more tea.
No, I mean, everybody would get a cup of tea. However, we will be here for about 45 minutes
Okay.
to have discussions with them.
Tea.
And then 10 minutes prior, we would be coming in to begin our meeting.
And we have to have some snack with it, so I have to bring more for another half an hour. Okay.
By September, I will help you out. I will donate something.
Thank you so much.
Maybe a Haitian tea soup.
I love your tea.
But I will help you out.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay,
At 6 p.m.?
it's been motion. Can I please get a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the tea? Okay, all right, we'll take a
You
vote.
second?
I second.
Yeah, there are no more discussion? All right, so it's been motion and second by Dr. Blumer, so we'll take a vote. Dr. Demerit,
Yes.
Mrs. Glickman,
Yes.
Dr. Blumer,
Yes.
Maria Etienne, yes, and Dr. Flamont.
Yes.
Okay, our motion passes. It's unanimous, very good.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I have a question. I do have
You
a
can-
question.
Motion denied. Not yet. One quick announcement. We wanted to make sure we talk about the budget because there are a couple of things that have been mentioned that we want to have. So perhaps we can make some suggestion for budget, and it has to be based on data that was highly, strongly recommended by a councilwoman. So I wanted to make sure that we review the document that was set forth to all of you on the status of women 2021 report, and then also outline some of the suggested activities that we will do, and put out a budget for, the budget for 2022, 2023. Right? Just another item I want to announce is that all items to be added to the agenda must be submitted the first Friday of the month. The second Thursday, all the agenda must be published on the second Thursday of the month or the Thursday before our meeting. And this body will meet every third Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m. Ideally, we want to have a 1-hour meeting, but sometimes, depending on the items, if we take a few minutes, I think that's okay. But we do want to try to keep it at our comments short and sweet. That way we can adjourn in a timely manner.
Do those agenda items go to Rosa?
Yes, to Rosa. Yes, our liaison. Okay? And now you can make the motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Okay. I guess the meeting will be all in favor. The meeting will be adjourned at 8:12 p.m. And so thank you everyone for being here once again. We want to give special thanks to our mayor and city council for giving us the opportunity to serve. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you.